Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to English Lane. Today, we embark on a remarkable journey through the life of one of the most influential and controversial Islamic scholars of the modern era, Dr. Zakir Abdul Karim Naik. Known worldwide for his sharp memory, logical approach, and unique style of comparative religious dialogue, Dr. Zakir Naik is both celebrated by millions and criticized by many. His speeches have filled stadiums, his television programs have reached hundreds of millions, and his debates have stirred both admiration and controversy.
But who is the man behind the voice? What shaped his thinking? How did a medical doctor from Mumbai transform into a global figure of religious discourse, attracting audiences from New York to Kuala Lumpur, from London to Riyadh, from Africa to Bangladesh? This is not just the story of a man. It is the story of an era. The story of how modern media, faith, science, and controversy came together in the life of one individual. So, sit back, relax, and listen carefully as we journey through the complete biography of Dr. Zakir Naik.
Early life and family background. Dr. Zakir Naik was born on 18th October 1965 in Bombay, today known as Mumbai, India. He came into the world in a middle-class Konkani Muslim family. His father, Abdul Karim Naik, was a respected businessman, known for his discipline, honesty, and vision. His mother, Roshan Naik, was a homemaker, nurturing, supportive, and deeply religious. The Naik family was not traditionally orthodox in a rigid sense, but they were devout. They emphasized education, good manners, and service to society. This environment shaped young Zakir's personality from the very beginning.
As a child, Zakir was quiet, observant, and deeply curious. While other children might have been drawn to games or mischief, Zakir loved books. He would spend hours reading and asking questions, not just about Islam, but about the world, science, history, and humanity. One of his earliest traits, noticed by teachers and friends, was his extraordinary memory. He could remember details, facts, and numbers far better than most children his age. This gift would later become one of his strongest weapons as a public speaker. Growing up in Mumbai in the 1970s was not easy. India was going through social, political, and economic changes. For Muslim families, there was always the challenge of preserving faith while living in a largely Hindu-majority society. Yet, Zakir's parents ensured he received a modern education alongside religious values.
Schooling years. Zakir Naik began his early schooling at St. Peter's High School in Mumbai. This was a Christian missionary school where the young boy was exposed to Christian teachings, prayers, and a diverse group of students. Interestingly, this early exposure planted the seeds of his later interest in comparative religion. He was intrigued by the fact that his Christian classmates believed in things different from what he learned at home. He began asking himself questions. Why do different religions have different beliefs? Is there one universal truth? How can we know what is authentic and what is not? At this stage, his questions were simple, but the foundation of curiosity was laid. Zakir was also an excellent student. He consistently ranked among the top in his class, showing special interest in science. His love for science was not only academic, he believed that science was a way to discover the truth about creation. This interest in science later became central to his speeches, where he would often connect modern scientific discoveries with the Quran. After completing his schooling, Zakir enrolled at Kishan Chand Chelaram College in Mumbai for his intermediate science studies. It was here that he developed a deep love for biology and medicine.
Medical studies. In the mid-1980s, Zakir pursued his dream of becoming a doctor. He joined the Topiwala National Medical College and the BYL Nair Charitable Hospital in Mumbai, affiliated with the University of Mumbai. He was hardworking, ambitious, and determined to serve humanity through medicine. In 1991, he completed his MBBS degree, Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. As a medical student, Zakir was known not only for his academic excellence, but also for his willingness to help others. Friends recall how he often stayed up late to tutor weaker students, simplifying complex medical concepts for them. But while he was preparing for a successful career as a physician, something else was happening in the background, something that would completely change the direction of his life.
The turning point. Inspiration from Ahmed Deedat. Around this time, in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Dr. Zakir Naik encountered the works of Sheikh Ahmed Deedat, the famous South African Islamic scholar. Ahmed Deedat was known worldwide for his fiery debates with Christian missionaries, his deep knowledge of the Bible, and his fearless defense of Islam. For Zakir, listening to Deedat was like a spark of electricity. Here was a man using logic, evidence, and scripture to engage in interfaith dialogue. He was not just preaching, he was debating, quoting the Bible, the Vedas, and other texts from memory. He was challenging misconceptions about Islam head-on. Zakir Naik was mesmerized. He began studying Ahmed Deedat's books and lectures in detail. Soon, he started assisting in Islamic work alongside his medical career. He began collecting material on comparative religion, not only reading Islamic literature, but also Hindu scriptures, the Bible, the Torah, and Buddhist texts. This dual interest, medicine and dawah, began to compete for his time. Eventually, one path won. In 1991, Dr. Zakir Naik made the life-changing decision to dedicate himself full-time to Islamic preaching and comparative religion. He once said, "I wanted to become a doctor of the body, but today I am a doctor of the soul."
This marked the true beginning of his journey.
Founding the Islamic Research Foundation, IRF. In 1991, the same year he finished his MBBS degree, Dr. Zakir Naik officially founded the Islamic Research Foundation, commonly known as IRF, in Mumbai. The vision of IRF was clear: to promote the true message of Islam, to clarify misconceptions about Islam, to engage in comparative religious studies using authentic sources, to use modern media and technology for Islamic outreach. At that time, Islamic preaching in India was mostly traditional, small gatherings in mosques or madrasas. But Dr. Zakir Naik had a different vision. He wanted to take Islam to auditoriums, television, and eventually the world stage.
IRF began modestly, but soon it became a hub of Islamic education. The foundation produced books, cassettes, CDs, and pamphlets. It organized lectures and debates. It built a massive library of religious texts, not only Islamic, but also Hindu, Christian, Jewish, and Buddhist scriptures. Dr. Naik and his team believed that if you want to clarify Islam to others, you must also understand their religion better than they do. This unique approach attracted attention. Soon, IRF became famous not only in India, but across the world. The beginning of public speaking.
Dr. Zakir Naik's first major public lecture was in 1991, at the age of 26. The topic was, "Is the Quran God's Word?" At first, he was nervous. Public speaking was not his natural strength.
He spoke too fast, used too many technical terms, and sometimes lost the audience. In fact, some early listeners even criticized him. But Dr. Naik was determined. He studied oratory skills, practiced regularly, and refined his style. He slowed his speech, sharpened his arguments, and memorized more references. Within a few years, he transformed into a powerful and confident speaker. His method was unique. Unlike many traditional scholars, Dr. Naik rarely read from a paper. He quoted directly from memory, entire verses from the Quran, Bible, Vedas, or Bhagavad Gita, word for word, chapter and verse. Audiences were astonished. They were not used to seeing a Muslim scholar quoting Hindu or Christian scriptures better than the followers of those religions themselves. Soon his lectures began to draw hundreds, then thousands, and eventually tens of thousands of listeners.
International tours and debates. By the mid-1990s, Dr. Zakir Naik began traveling abroad for lectures. He visited the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, South Africa, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and many African countries. His fame grew because of his open challenge style. He welcomed questions from anyone, regardless of religion. In his Q&A sessions, Hindus asked him about reincarnation, Christians asked him about the Trinity, atheists asked him about science and God. Dr. Naik responded with quick logic, quoting scriptures from memory. Some of his most famous debates include with Dr. William Campbell, USA, on the Quran and the Bible in the light of science, with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, India, on the concept of God in Hinduism and Islam, with Christian missionaries in the Gulf region where he often exposed contradictions in the Bible. These debates drew huge audiences and were later broadcast worldwide, further boosting his popularity.
The birth of Peace TV. In 2006, Dr. Zakir Naik launched his biggest media project, Peace TV. Peace TV was a satellite television channel dedicated to Islamic teachings, comparative religion, and dawah. It was unique because it broadcast in English, making it accessible to a global audience. The slogan of Peace TV was, "The solution for humanity." The success was immediate. Within a few years, Peace TV had expanded to include Peace TV Urdu, launched in 2009, Peace TV Bangla, launched in 2011, Peace TV Chinese, launched in 2015. At its peak, Peace TV claimed to have over 200 million viewers across 150 countries. Programs included Dr. Zakir Naik's lectures and Q&A sessions, children's shows like Teen Star and Kids Quest, women's programs hosted by scholars like Farhat Naik, his wife, talk shows, debates, and educational documentaries. For millions of Muslims, Peace TV became a trusted alternative to mainstream entertainment. For critics, however, it became a source of controversy, accused of spreading hate speech and radical ideas. But regardless of views, no one could deny the massive influence Peace TV had in shaping Islamic discourse worldwide.
The historic public lectures. Among the thousands of lectures delivered by Dr. Zakir Naik, a few stand out in history. One of the most remarkable was in Kishanjan, Bihar, India, in 2012. Over 1 million people attended his lecture, making it one of the largest religious gatherings for a single speaker in history. Imagine the scene, a sea of humanity, stretching as far as the eye could see, all gathered to listen to one man speak,
about God, religion, and truth. Other historic lectures include Dubai International Conference, where thousands of expats and locals attended; London's Wembley Arena, where he addressed a packed hall on Islam and the West; South Africa tours, where he followed in the footsteps of his mentor, Ahmed Deedat. In each of these events, the Q&A sessions were the highlight. People of all faiths asked questions, sometimes polite, sometimes hostile. Dr. Naik answered calmly, logically, and often turned criticism into applause. His ability to think quickly and quote accurately became his trademark.
Books, publications, and media. Although Dr. Zakir Naik is best known as a speaker, he has also authored more than 50 books on Islam and comparative religion. Some of his most popular titles are The Quran and Modern Science, Compatible or Incompatible, Answers to Non-Muslims' Common Questions about Islam, Similarities between Hinduism and Islam, Concept of God in Major Religions, Islam and Terrorism, A Misconception Removed. These books were translated into many languages, including Urdu, Bengali, Malay, Arabic, French, and Chinese. IRF also produced thousands of pamphlets and booklets answering common misconceptions about Islam on topics such as polygamy, hijab, jihad, alcohol, pork, and women's rights. In addition, IRF created a massive video library. More than 2,000 lectures and debates were recorded, subtitled, and distributed worldwide. These resources became essential for Muslims engaged in interfaith dialogue. Awards and honors. By the early 2000s, Dr. Zakir Naik had become a global Islamic figure. His ability to defend Islam using logic, science, and comparative religion earned him international respect. He received numerous awards from Islamic organizations, universities, and governments. Among the most notable, 1. King Faisal International Prize, 2015, often called the Nobel Prize of the Muslim world, awarded to him in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia by King Salman. The award was for his service to Islam, particularly in propagating the true message of Islam to millions across the globe. 2. Islamic Personality of the Year, Dubai International Holy Quran Award 2013. Honored in the UAE by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. The award recognized his contributions in promoting interfaith understanding and spreading Islamic knowledge. 3. Recognition in South Africa. In 1996, during his visit, his mentor Ahmed Deedat proudly declared, "Zakir is my son. What I have done in 40 years, he has done in 4 years." 4. Other awards. Numerous plaques and trophies from Islamic conferences in Malaysia, Indonesia, Nigeria, the Gulf countries, and the UK. Honorary titles like Islamic Thinker of the 21st Century and Voice of Islam from various organizations. These awards symbolized not only his popularity, but also the acceptance of his method of dawah by mainstream Islamic authorities. Global recognition and media attention. By the mid-2000s, Dr. Zakir Naik was frequently featured in international media. The Indian Express, 2009, ranked him among the 100 most powerful Indians. The Times of India called him the rock star of tele-evangelism. Arab News described him as the most influential Islamic preacher of the present time. At the same time, Western media often portrayed him with suspicion. Some newspapers accused him of being controversial or radical. Still, his programs on Peace TV continued to attract millions of viewers worldwide.
His fame also rose because of YouTube and social media. Clips of his debates, for example, his replies to atheists or Hindu scholars, went viral, gaining millions of views. For many young Muslims, Dr. Zakir Naik became a role model, a man who could defend Islam confidently in English using science and reason.
The Al-Hidayah and Dawah training projects. While Peace TV was reaching millions through satellite, Dr. Zakir Naik also focused on training future preachers. He established Al-Hidayah, an educational and Dawah training center. The goals of Al-Hidayah were to train young Muslims in comparative religion, to teach them memorization techniques for quoting scripture, to prepare speakers who could carry the Dawah mission forward. Dr. Naik personally trained hundreds of students in public speaking and debate skills. Many of them later became well-known speakers in their own regions. He often emphasized, quote, "Every Muslim is a Dawah worker. If you cannot speak like me, then at least share a book, a CD, or even a sentence about Islam." This project was his way of ensuring that the mission of Dawah would continue beyond his own lifetime.
The golden period of influence. The period from 2006 to 2015 can be considered the golden era of Dr. Zakir Naik's influence. Peace TV network was at its peak, broadcasting in 4 major languages. His lectures filled stadiums and arenas across the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. He was one of the most searched Islamic personalities on Google. His Q&A sessions continued to be the highlight, drawing audiences of all faiths. His books and pamphlets were distributed in millions of copies worldwide. During this time, Dr. Zakir Naik's annual Ramadan lectures in Dubai and other Gulf countries became iconic events, often attended by royal family members. Many people, from doctors to engineers, from Hindus to Christians, from atheists to Buddhists, reportedly embraced Islam after listening to his talks. It was estimated that through his lectures, Peace TV and social media, Dr. Naik influenced the lives of tens of millions of people.
Style of Dawah and criticisms. Dr. Zakir Naik's style was both his strength and his controversy. Strengths: quoting from multiple scriptures with precision, using logic and science to connect with modern audiences, conducting open Q&A sessions where anyone could challenge him, encouraging Muslims to be confident in their faith. Criticisms: some said his style was too aggressive. Others accused him of misinterpreting other religions. Certain governments felt his speeches could offend non-Muslims. Western critics sometimes linked his words to extremism, even though he repeatedly condemned terrorism. Despite these criticisms, Dr. Zakir Naik always maintained, "Islam is a religion of peace. Any person who kills an innocent human being is committing a crime against humanity."
The beginning of controversies. As Dr. Zakir Naik's influence grew, so did scrutiny and opposition. By the late 2000s, his lectures and Peace TV broadcasts were being closely monitored by governments, especially in India and Western countries. The main reasons? His comparative religion approach, which often highlighted contradictions in other faiths, upset religious leaders. His political statements about Muslims being oppressed worldwide were sometimes taken out of context. His huge following among youth made governments nervous about his influence. Western media often labeled him as controversial. Some even accused him of indirectly promoting extremism, though he consistently condemned terrorism.
Ban in the United Kingdom, 2010. In June 2010, the UK Home Secretary, Theresa May, announced a ban on Dr. Zakir Naik entering Britain. The reason? The UK government claimed that some of his past statements were unacceptable and contradicted British values. For Dr. Naik, it was a major setback, because he had a strong following in the UK and many of his debates with Christian scholars had taken place there. He responded by saying, quote, "My words were taken out of context. I have always condemned terrorism and killing of innocents. My mission is peace." But the ban remained. Chapter 18. Growing Pressure in India. In India, Dr. Zakir Naik had become one of the most popular Muslim figures. His lectures drew massive crowds. His TV channel reached millions of households. But as his popularity grew, so did political pressure. Hindu nationalist groups accused him of hurting religious sentiments. Some Indian politicians accused him of radicalizing Muslim youth. His speeches were selectively edited by media channels to portray him negatively. Despite this, millions of Indian Muslims continued to support him, seeing him as a defender of Islam against stereotypes. Chapter 19. The Dhaka Attack Allegation, 2016. The turning point came in July 2016 after a terrorist attack in Dhaka, Bangladesh, killed 22 people. Indian and Bangladeshi media claimed that the attackers were inspired by Dr. Zakir Naik's speeches. Dr. Naik strongly denied the allegations, saying his teachings were always against terrorism. He stated, "Islam does not permit the killing of any innocent human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim. My speeches have always promoted peace, never violence." But the damage was done. The Indian government launched multiple investigations against him. Chapter 20. Ban on IRF and Peace TV in India. In November 2016, the Government of India officially banned the Islamic Research Foundation, declaring it an unlawful organization. Bank accounts of IRF were frozen. Offices were shut down. Peace TV was banned in India. The government accused IRF of promoting enmity between religions. This was one of the biggest blows to Dr. Naik's mission in India.
Chapter 21. Exile and Relocation to Malaysia. When the investigations began in 2016, Dr. Zakir Naik was traveling abroad. He decided not to return to India, fearing arrest and unfair trial. He moved to Malaysia, where he was welcomed by the government under then Prime Minister Najib Razak. In 2017, he was granted permanent residency in Malaysia. He continued giving lectures, especially in Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. Peace TV shifted much of its operations to Malaysia. For Dr. Naik, Malaysia became his new base of operations.
Chapter 22. Legal Battles and Extradition Requests. The Indian government filed multiple cases against him, accusing him of money laundering, hate speech, and spreading radical ideas. Interpol was requested to issue a red notice for his arrest, but it rejected the request, saying the charges were politically motivated. India also requested Malaysia to extradite Dr. Naik, but the Malaysian government refused, stating, "As long as Dr. Zakir Naik does not break any Malaysian law, he is free to stay here." This gave him security, but it also meant he could no longer freely travel to many countries.
Chapter 24. Current Influence and Activities. As of today, Dr. Zakir Naik remains one of the most followed Islamic speakers in the world. His YouTube channel and social media accounts have millions of subscribers. His old debates and lectures continue to be watched globally. Peace TV, though banned in India and some Western countries, still broadcasts in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. He participates in international conferences via video calls. Many Muslims still see him as a defender of Islam, while critics continue to view him as controversial. But regardless of opinion, his impact on the global Islamic Dawah movement is undeniable.
Chapter 25. Family Life. Behind the public figure of Dr. Zakir Naik lies a family that has always supported his mission. Wife. His wife, Farhat Naik, is also actively involved in Dawah. She conducts lectures, especially for women, and has appeared in programs on Peace TV. Children. His son, Farik Naik, is following in his footsteps. At a young age, Farik began giving public lectures in English and Arabic. He also memorized the Quran and trained under his father in comparative religion.
His daughter Rusta Naik also memorized portions of the Quran and participates in Islamic education.
Dr. Naik often says, "My family is my backbone. Without their support, this mission would not have been possible." He raised his children with a strong foundation in Islamic values, Quran memorization, and education, aiming to prepare them to continue the mission of Dawah.
Chapter 26. Legacy and the Future of Dawah. Dr. Zakir Naik's legacy rests on 3 pillars. 1. Peace TV network. Even though banned in several countries, it continues to reach millions in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. His lectures are still replayed daily, keeping his message alive. 2. Publications and media. His books and pamphlets continue to be distributed worldwide. His video library of debates and lectures serves as a permanent resource for Dawah workers. 3. Training the next generation. Through Al-Hidayah and personal mentoring, Dr. Naik trained young preachers. His son, Farik Naik, and many students are expected to continue the mission in the 21st century. Thus, even if Dr. Naik is unable to travel freely, his work continues through his institutions, recordings, and students.
Chapter 27. Global Impact on Muslims. The influence of Dr. Zakir Naik on Muslims worldwide is massive. Confidence in Islam. Many young Muslims who once felt shy about their religion now proudly defend it using logic and science. Conversions to Islam. Thousands of people from Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, and atheism have embraced Islam after hearing his lectures. Unity through knowledge. His lectures often emphasize similarities between religions, encouraging peaceful coexistence. Challenging Islamophobia. In a world where Islam is often misrepresented, Dr. Naik gave Muslims the tools to respond intellectually. For millions, he became a symbol of how Islam can be defended without violence, only with knowledge and wisdom. Chapter 28. Criticisms and Support. A Balanced View. No great figure is without criticism. Critics accuse him of being too confrontational in his debates. Some governments see him as politically sensitive. Media often highlights his most controversial statements. But at the same time, millions of Muslims see him as a hero of Dawah. Scholars like Ahmed Deedat publicly praised him. His lectures continue to inspire a new generation of Muslim thinkers. In short, whether loved or criticized, he cannot be ignored. Chapter 29. Personal Traits and Lifestyle. Dr. Zakir Naik is known for his simple lifestyle, no obsession with luxury, discipline, strict schedule for study, prayer, and lectures, memorization ability, quoting hundreds of scriptures word for word, work ethic, often preparing 18 to 20 hours for a single debate. Even in exile, he spends most of his time reading, writing, and preparing new materials for Dawah. Chapter 30. Conclusion. The Man, the Mission, the Message. Dr. Zakir Naik's journey is the story of a doctor who left medicine for a higher calling, a student of Ahmed Deedat
who surpassed even his mentor in reach. A preacher who filled stadiums with seekers of truth. A teacher who trained future generations of Islamic scholars. His mission continues despite bans, controversies, and exile. His message still reaches millions every day through recordings, books, and the internet. If you cannot convince the world with wealth or power, convince them with truth and reason. This is the legacy of Dr. Zakir Naik.
Dear viewers, you have just listened to the complete biography of Dr. Zakir Naik, his life, struggles, achievements, controversies, and global influence. If you enjoyed this detailed storytelling and if it helped improve your English listening practice, then please don't forget to like this video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe to our channel English Lane for more inspiring biographies and English learning content. Thank you for watching. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep learning English through stories.